Pisces planets, so we're still floating about in the ocean, but I really wanted to talk about we do have the Mars and Venus still cruising kind of together in Aquarius, and Aquarius, especially the Venus, has a love, there's a affinity for um, minding your own business, really being individuated into, I was almost going to say a bubble, personalized bubble, but it's not really like that. Aquarius is aware of other individuals being the same kind of capacity to be individuated and very unique and needing the same things that would promote all of that, which is to be able to mind your own business, space. These people are the space people, but really what that is right. It's well, they were born in February, which is the heart space month, right? We celebrate Valentine's Day. I mean, but really it's about the heart technology. Um, that Aquarius, the Uranus points at electricity and all technology and everything. It's Aquarius. It's the highest of high technologies. If you really want to look at it, um, I do think so. It's opposite the sun, the heart itself, which there you go. It's the plasmatic field interacting with that. It's just because it's opposite. There's definitely a connection, just like the conjunction, but even it's the same thing. But you see, the oppositions, like okay, so it's the higher octave of what's happening in the body. It's the mind of God, the mind of God, which is the um, truth found in reality. Okay, next, kids. We were trying to, yeah, see a Venus in Aquarius, or even a Venus in Mars, any Aquarius would love what I just said. That conversation, they're like, no, but the Venus in Aquarius, they're that weird that they allow space for all of that, and they definitely are hoping that that will happen for them because they're equally as strange and weird. It's all bundled up in them. They are very strange, and they could be seen as kind of cold-hearted, like a robot, but really they have values in them that are installed, like any Aquarius does. But you have Venus being your value. They love this kind of thing, and they really embody it as like a practice of their love, which is highly misunderstood, of course. It's just impersonal comes up. The word impersonal, even though they are very bubble oriented. Like I said, they're individuated, but that's the part of being impersonal, I think, is just to accept, right? That's a very key word that they would use too, is just accept that we're all weirdos, or there's different people. That's what astrology, which Aquarius rules, is here to open our minds to this fact that every single person is born with an imprint of the planets in the houses of the where the signs are, um, using whole sign astrology. Anyway, that is capable of showing us like a fingerprint uh, of the individual, of many possibilities that, but you can get pretty darn, if you have a good imagination, which a good imagination means that you have observed a little bit what is happening within reality beyond the mind. You're tapping into some truths. You might even have a question about it, see, and then astrology is going to help you um, with having after tapped in a little bit of that. You can say, well, yeah, I understand that Neptune rules water because, well, first of all, I know what water is because I have experienced it. That's what I mean. You couldn't use your imagination about it unless you have, yeah, I can't pick it up with a fork only if there's an ice cube, and then it's like it's different. Yeah, keep looking at the nature of water. Well, it's the same for everybody. The truth about that. It really is. That's what's amazing. See, a lot of narcissists don't know. They think that they have their own truths, and we get what you're saying, but no, did you know there's a realm of reality where the truth is the same for everybody. You're not going to escape that, and you don't gaslight it all to hell. In fact, shut your mouth, observe. Now, if you don't have powers of observation, that's the problem that we have with a lot of narcissists. They don't use their senses. And so there's plenty of information, of evidence that man is falling because of that. And I didn't say woman. Sorry, it's just how the lingo comes out. I mean, if it was a natural thing to say woman is failing or womankind has gone to hell, then we would be saying that. Believe me, I know, because I'm a programmed robot. But here I am. I'm programmed to just say mankind. Sorry, I'm somebody scot-free. Were you scot-free, Jesus? Hell no! In fact, come on, come with me. Mwah. So we have a Uranus square Mars that's going to happen in Aquarius. So this affects Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and of course Aquarius. And it's a time of just more jiggling into the changes that some people may be hanging on for dear fake life. It's very much the fixed foundation of our human values, I guess we definitely call it. But I'm looking at, as an astrologer here, at the Uranus that has yet to move out of its retrograde shadow. See, it went up to clear up to 23. It didn't quite hit 24, I don't think. See, it'll hit 24, and that's when it steps out of its retrograde shadow in June, I think, in the middle of the beginning of June. That's when I say that, talk about anything that is clinging on. See, it's still just kind of clinging on to the old ways, and it's not allowing, it needs to clear space for a whole new thing to go on. And that's difficult for most human embodiments, especially the fixed signs. I mean, if you really look at it, I mean, it's like, well, for a transformational guru, that's just a given. You have to let them know. It's like, well, no, this is it. They know that. See, that's technically, it's called the death. There's the death and rebirth of things, and so, but you have to have just gotten rid and completely, and that's figuratively a death. It's the mind that is going through. And you can call it the ego death, I guess, if it's an identity, if you're really hooked into it all. But the truth is, this is, of course, some people would say that this definitely is the whole journey of this life and maybe beyond. Because what if we have access to all creation of creation, like worlds themselves, and within galaxies, how unlimited that must be. Having said that, why in the hell? I'm asking myself, why? And you too, come on, I'm humanity. Ask yourself, why did I choose this? Is this really the possibility? It's not true. That's what a lot of stuff we'll see on YouTube, a lot of what people are fishing around for, especially the material about narcissism, which is just these people who don't know how to do life very well because, first of all, they're not programmed to do it well. They're frizzle-frazzled, and they don't really want you to know it. The best ones will say, "Yes, I'm um, I'm a parrot. I have the mind of a parrot." As some of them will just admit that they're um, it depends, but some of them, really make it a problem. I think that we make it a problem if we put them in charge. See, that's where, if they start breaking, and this is very real to me, babes, and it's minute 9, and I'm going to try to make this a longer conversation. If when they become a problem, which they do, like around me, I see, oh no, you're going to pour asphalt instead of just look around and blink your eyes, and you can use a non-toxic material, way more non-toxic than what I'm smelling still after the snow. I'm sorry. But that was, I don't care who you are and where you think the fuck you are and how much money you think you paid for, that you did pay for your land, and that you think you own it and stuff like that. You are in this barracks situation where if it were a imprisonment, you would have been fucking trash can because it affects everybody here. Not even prison barrack people live as unconsciously and insane as that. So now, when you see that, first of all, in accordance to health risks and stuff, and really looking into it, doing the actual studies, which I was denied all of that. It's fucking strange, but it's not. See, more and more people just need to get a class action case, and they're all afraid of being railroaded around and you know, literally of just mobbed upon. And of course they will be. Can't you just drop everything and say, you know what, there isn't anything more important in this life? Hi, Christ, am I on the right tip? Hell yeah, girl, you make that right sacrifice. Here, use. Oh, thank you. Great. Um, use knowledge, use the truth, and see how many bodies do you go through to adjust to make it. What kind of Disneyland do you want it to be here? See, I want the Disneyland that works with resonance, with harmonizing with the truth. Getting back to that, well, the truth is pretty much the same. If you're a five-pointed being, babes, and you think you're drinking water there, well, imagine really the right kind of water, good water. It's not only isomerized and filtered out and brought up to the 9.5, 9.5 alkaline, totally alkaline, but it's magically tuned to frequencies, like of love. And when you drink it, it's like, talk about holy water. Um, Point being, babes, it's the truth for it's you can feel better. There's you believe it or not, you probably know there's a lot that you need to change and stuff, and it does start with your diet. Then you start to be able to focus because you want to be able to do ultimately, and this is the ultimate, babes. It's not about the mind, but it's part of me. It's smoking and steaming away on crap and lost, right, from what? Yes, chemical imbalance, blah blah blah. Um, but see, ultimately, it's behaviors. It's ultimately behaviors that you want to change. You know, some people are naturally um, changeable. It's called the mutable planets, yes, but you want to talk about just a way of being that is purely aware. And see, we have to be this way because, like I said, this life is full of letting go. Um, to what point? See, though, now I just got the view of walking around homeless in a towel, and it's like, well, maybe so. Why do we have to seem like we're homeless here just to free ourselves from the constraints of the monetary system, let's say? And I know that's a stupid thing to say, but no. What if we were given our own land and say, hey, figure it out without money, and we started to? Do you think that there's a place on the planet that does that? Yes, kind of. See, I say kind of because they're becoming corrupt by what's happening overseas and stuff like this, and you can see it. See that they are women ran there. Women that run those tribes. They're amazing looking people because they get up and they work hard. They're doing what they should do as far as on the planet. They kind of, it's looking like they do live in harmony, but then I don't know. I don't see the real problems, but just you can figure that when you're in the right state of mind and not reduced down to just the basics, which is the right state of mind would be to be able to understand something deeper than just, like I said, living as fear and trying to survive being stuck in a power trip. I mean, really, if you can understand the importance, see, now we're getting back to the conversation of Aquarius, who I think it's possible they can. It's like a big, of course, see, I have a moon in Aquarius, and it's like, no, when you find something worth a damn, it's natural for the human being. We're talking about human beings now. This is a very small faction, aside from 80%, even 99 maybe percent of narcissists, yes, who human beings when they naturally when they tap something that's fun and works for them. Like maybe they grew a bunch of grapes, or they're doing something. Naturally, they give. Naturally, eventually they share, because it feels icky to not. It would just fall on the ground, and it would literally rotten. They would get rotten. They would get bitter if everybody just turns their back and they don't want their stuff. But see, that's what money is capable of doing for no reason at all. No reason except for let's practice hate. And it's really let's practice dehumanizing or something. There could be that there is that it's called the schism. Call it the schism, but I say it's just it's not evolved yet. It's not evolved into being a human being yet. Some of my um videos are pointing straight at that. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to keep bringing it up. No, we're on a planet that isn't really a human civilization. Otherwise, it would be sovereign into figuring itself out, even just in our neighborhood here. It wouldn't be so ridiculous to where the most sensitive people are shut out, and then there's a psychopath there running a machine and inviting poisons in, fucking kicking the potential harmony of life around. Pardon me. Really, and hey, if you can't relate, I don't care. Give us our own place, and eventually, I bet you anything, your miserable shit outside of our fence or whatever it is, and uh, you're gonna want to get away from it, and you're gonna want some fresh water. You're gonna want an ear of corn that doesn't fuck your stomach up, and you're gonna want some decent entertainment that doesn't give you such informative information, but steaming angry. What's wrong with you? Treat your babies when they're hungry better than what you're treating this. Like it, because I've gone emotional. Did you hear my stomach growl right in the middle? I feel great because I happen to think that there's some kind of a moon event coming. Isn't there a moon event coming? Yeah, there's a moon eclipse. Aries, Libra, and you see, it's at 15 degrees, I think. Here, let me just look at it real quick and blind this with this light. Sorry about that. See, okay, it's on the 8th. Oh my God. All right, see, I see. Now, it's more like on the 9th. Okay, so because on the 9th oh God. Babes, it's a Mars-ruled eclipse. And it's apparently going to be eclipsing. Well, there's an eclipse, I'm sorry. It's not on the new moon. It's on the full moon. There's a full moon eclipse. This is a new moon in April that I'm looking at. Sorry about that. I skipped ahead to April. Come on, isn't there a moon event coming soon? I need to look. Well, it's kind of far off. Oh, well, okay, so, no, I think we do now. No, let me look. I'm sorry, pardon me. Well, yeah, it's on the 25th of March. Yes, we have two eclipses kind of going on. The first one here is this when it's full, the sun will be in Aries. It's at 4 degrees, and the moon is in Libra, and that's on the 25th. It eclipses right here. I could see it. And it's in Mars. That's a Mars. I'm sorry. It's a Mars-ruled sun and a Venus-ruled moon. And by then Venus will be in Pisces, which is a very dreamy and romantic, and it's exalted there. I think Venus is exalted in Pisces. It's like at home. It's in its co-rulership, I think. So it's like happy there. It's doing fairy tale land and really getting feminine and stuff. And okay, so then with that also we have Mars had just entered in Pisces. So that's very different vibration than what's happening now as far as the Martian thing. And but see, right before then here now on the 9th we have just trying to talk about that Mars ellipse, Mars Uranus square. Be very careful. Um, on I'm gonna put this on like the 7th or something, or the 6th, on March 9th. There is a aspect with Mars and Uranus at the same time. There's a Mercury Neptune conjunction. Now I want to talk about the Mercury Neptune conjunction, which is happening at 27 degrees. Um, Very dreamy time. It's very auspicious, babes. It's a time of slowing down and just letting yourself move, your whole, like your subconscious, I guess, but it's not necessarily the poor programming. You want your unconscious. God, when you think about it, if you can, I mean, right now is the time to do it with that Mercury um, conjunct Neptune. I know some people that are being positively aspected by it. Their Mercury is at late degree water, and that it's going to be really helpful for the people who do think deeply, but don't know how to, they don't have the capacity to understand what is happening with them. And it's like, well, I'm here to tell you that you're probably deeper than most. You don't have to, and you don't because you don't know how to express like in words. And you don't have to, because you guys are the kind of people that are beyond words. See, there's the underwater where information or communications is happening. We don't talk because we don't use oxygen, right? There's sound, and like the way that whales and dolphins and other horseshoe fishes, even dolphins. What do I mean horseshoe fishes? Hammerhead sharks. The fish that have extreme amount like of weird cartilage, and even birds, they are communicating with electromagnetic frequencies. They are much more sensitive on a level, and it does pick up on it picks up on mood and emotionality, and it communicates that way. Of course, it's going to respond to joy, and it also is aware of the danger and violent frequencies, of course, and that's happening out there in the ocean. Just the point being is that these people, human beings, are communicating this way on this depth, and they are the best to have. Um, if you're a complex person with maybe some emotional sensitivities and even highly creative ability, um, to be around those kinds of people, first of all, they appreciate you, because you're coming from the depths that they might think is impossible to begin to express, and particularly the Cancerian planets, Mercury there. The Mercury is in water. I imagine is just a hard place for the Mercury to try and communicate from there. They're much more, I imagine, quiet, and they show through actions more, right? You just pay attention to how you feel, because that's the communications that are going on. And a lot of times you will probably feel nurtured, and they didn't say a word. It's just their presence, what they do, and then they leave, and then you see. So thanks for listening to that. That's my experiences. I've had good interaction with the Mercury in Cancer. I have Jupiter in Pisces. I appreciate the Cancer. I mean, the water signs. Of course, we should, because it would be a parched place without these nurturing people. That I mean, come on, plants and everything needs watering. Not too much water, right? The emotions. They're going to be. Some of them are like crying all the time, and I think, why not? I think people should not cry. They should cry a lot, more than they are right in front of, say, at the gas pump or anywhere. Just wonder. just act like a baby that is like they know they're being treated unfairly and show everybody. And what are we going to do about it? You're just going to have people crying around you all the time and ignoring it? That sucks. I want off this planet. Not the way we treat babies.